freaky happy, freaky happy, freaky happy on a Friday. Freaky happy, freaky happy, freaky happy on a Friday. I just made that up. It's called Freaky Happy on a Friday. It's by me. You know, Snowball. Straight from Atlanta. Zone 6. Realest nigga out there. You know what I'm talking about? So I saw Freakier Friday. Whoa, too close. We're gonna talk about it. It wasn't made for me. It wasn't made for me. Very few things are. Gray hair sticking up. Okay, real quick. I thought of this joke hours ago. My sister is sneezing. My sister is sneezing. What does this mean for me? Okay, so I saw Freakier Friday, and I went to the barbershop. How are those related? It's uneven. I'm gonna take responsibility. Sometimes I shake in the chair, so this might have been one of the moments where I was shaking. I get a little weird when people touch me, but starts strong. The mustache starts strong, and then it just tails on off. Gets a little thin. This is how this movie is to me. It's a strong, energetic start. We're gonna talk about that in a second. This hair is really making itself known. It is a white hair that I've had for quite some time. I believe it means I'm a god, but I haven't confirmed that because I don't want to recognize that it might be from stress. All right, so this movie is obviously a sequel to Freaky Friday. Came out a while ago. Don't remember when. Don't remember the movie at all, actually. I know I've seen it. But it stars Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, Julia Butters, and really the other stars not even mentioned in the top several. That's strange. She's not even mentioned. Sophia Hammonds is acting alongside Julia Butters as the two daughters that are about to be stepsisters. And then the love interest is not even listed in the top 4. Manny Jacinto. I said that with like a fake Latino accent, but he's Asian, so I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, it stars some people that you recognize, some people that you don't, and then some like maybe up and coming actors. I will say Julia Butters was, and this is really a thing. Like, oh my god, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She acted alongside Leonardo DiCaprio's character on that set of the TV show that they were doing in the movie. And she was great in that. Like, she was like super mature and like seasoned as a young actor. I didn't know which one to do, so I split the two and it came out weird. But she was great in that, and I'm happy to see her again. This is the first time I've seen her again. And she's older, obviously, but it made me realize, holy shit, that was was that 7 years ago, 8 years ago when that movie came out? That makes sense, but I forgot. It felt like yesterday to me when I first saw that in theaters. Either way, she's a really good actress. I'm happy to see her, and this role does give her some room to breathe. Let's talk about the movie. All right, this movie is, again, sequel to Freaky Friday. I don't really have a synopsis for you, except that, of course, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis have been there before, but this time there are 2 new characters that are going to be swapped with them. So Jamie Lee Curtis becomes the stepdaughter that is from the UK, and then somewhere in Europe, I think it was the UK, and then Lindsay Lohan becomes her daughter, who becomes her. So they're swapped in pairs, you know. So daughter becomes mom, mom becomes daughter, stepsister becomes grandma, and then shenanigans ensue. Now the backdrop of this movie, this is not even a spoiler. Spoilers could even like exist for a movie like this, but Lindsay Lohan has fallen in love with a man, and they are coming together as family. And they're about to get married, but the kids don't want to get married because marriage means that they move. Either the girl that is from the UK officially moves to the US for good, which seems like she's already there, but she wants to move back to the UK. And then Lindsay Lohan's daughter either has to move from California to the UK or just stay in California. So that's what they're fighting here. They're fighting over that. And then they are trying to sabotage their parents' love. And is it successful? You can probably guess. It's a Disney movie. I'm not going to spoil it if that exists for a movie like this. Now, the great part about this movie is that for those who are aware of the original, which I am not, there seems to be a lot of callbacks, if not like a copy and paste sort of formula, which might be a lot of fun for you. It's a lot of nostalgia baiting. And I think there's a good time that can be had with that. For example, like the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. I mean, it was just nostalgia. I don't remember much about that movie, but when I saw certain characters, if you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil it, whatever. I don't know, it's old, but like certain characters pop up and it's like, oh my God, that's so cool. This is probably that for you, because apparently some of the people that they interact with are from the original movie and they bring them back in a cool way, in the same roles that they had in the original movie. But what I don't understand about this movie is what they were going for. I don't know. Like some of the humor is like witty and like of age for me and people that saw the original when it came out, and then other is just like wacky and ooh, like maybe a 7-year-old is laughing at that. Like a lot of physical gags, like okay, somebody fell or they're doing something weird physically, and oh, there's an explosion and there's a food fight and there's something oozing from a chemical vial. Like yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me. So I think this movie will be enjoyable for those who like the original a lot. If you are not that person, you're not going to necessarily need to see this movie in theaters. I honestly think this would have done well enough as a Disney Plus exclusive, but it is what it is. The best part about this movie, though, for me, was there was like this scene. I like records. You can see some of them behind me, but I like records a lot. There was a scene in the record store, and they had like a coffee shop in the record store, and I was like, that's a cool idea. But more importantly, I'm like looking around, and I'm like, oh, this is a real record store. Like there are like legit albums and artists up here. Like I saw, I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God, like Jackie Wilson was there. There's some jazz legends like Dizzy. There were just things sprinkled about. Britney Spears, Sade popped up. Like it was cool to see a LA record store, which I haven't been in quite some time. By the way, this movie does take place in LA. Another good thing about this movie is that it had a bunch of different set pieces. So like the environments always feel fresh. I mean, there are points where you're on a stage. There are points where you're like in a business environment because Lindsay Lohan's character is like a record executive sort of person, a manager for an artist rather. What is that word I'm looking for? The costumes. How do you say costume? The costumes, the clothes that the characters had on, like great. Like colorful. One of the characters wants to be a fashion designer, and it fits because she's very stylish in a way that I even think is appealing. And I don't wear anything but black t-shirts, except for today. I have a blue t-shirt on, and that is because my parents went to Greece, and Greek has no relation to anything that I'm about to say regarding this movie, except the Greek freak is a basketball player. I'm a black man that is 6'3". Clearly, at one point, I played basketball at some level, not very good. But the point is, Greek shirt on, black man, freak. The Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You didn't think I could do it. Hey, but I stretched my jokes thin like the corner of my mustache that got messed up. But yeah, this movie is fine. It's fine. Go see it if you need to. If you don't need to, then stay at home and watch it on Disney Plus. And then the last thing I'll say is there are emotional moments in here that I do think work a little bit. Like there was a moment where I was just kind of like, man, like that guy, the husband, the soon-to-be husband, the groom, I don't know words anymore. He had a moment where he was like speaking his piece. And I was like, man, that's love, right? He loves her. And I like that. I like that. But yeah, shout out to, I had like a pun parody name idea for like a porn spinoff of this, obviously removing the kids. But it would be like Jamie Lee Curtis, which is a joke I made on my Instagram a long time ago. And then Flimsy Broham and Jamie Lee Curtis star in blah, blah, blah. And I'm in this. Movie's fine, 3.5. If you like this universe franchise, you'll probably give it a 7. It's okay.